There's a couple things I said yesterday, right? I was going to talk today. So we had, I have several people sending on email asking uh, how to keep up, the good spirits. Oh, gosh, they're talking at the same time. Sandy Quebec Alpha Tango Uniform. That's a long ticker. Um, sorry. So how and this person actually he was an athlete. He was a professional hockey player, and he's just asking how to keep up like the good spirits and not just for trading in general, right? To have a good outlook or positive outlook in life in general, um, and how I do in my case you know, to try to look at the bright side and everything, and I'll have good hopes for whatever is coming along in life. Um, well, I don't have the answer for that, but the way I see is, and I believe in that we all have a soul. I believe in God. I believe there's a higher force out there, but I also believe in chemistry. And when it comes down to it, I really believe that we are uh, a combination of several chemical reactions that we have through our bodies. And that dictates how our mood goes, how our energy level goes, and how everything else it goes in life. Um, so the number one thing for me, just one sec. Number one thing for me, especially being over 50, is to make sure that I am staying the best shape, not just physical but mental that uh, that I can be. And that starts with the working out or doing some kind of diet, not eating any kind or not much junk. Maybe assign 1 or 2 days a week to each junk, and then the others you follow a certain diet. But let me tell you, Dan, are you there?
Yes.
Dan is he's like a bull, right? He's a very strong. He's very but I'm almost twice his age, right? But even someone as strong as Dan, he had health issues last year, and the number one reason one of the reasons that he was having, it was nutrition and was lack of sleep. Uh, one
Hmm.
second. And it was like a sleep. So every time you go off, it doesn't matter if you're young or if you're older, but if there's something that breaks is on your system that you don't have what is needed to be able to operate at optimal performance, uh, eventually you pay the price. You can say, "Oh, I sleep when I'm dead." Uh, yeah, you're gonna die really quick. You're gonna be sleeping really soon because that's how I used to think. When on my 20s, I used to work. I had business, and I used to open other business, and I get into jobs at the same time while I was running business. So I would sleep for months for 2-3 hours a day, no more than 4 hours a day. I'm not talking about for a week. I'm talking about for months, like through the summer when I was really busy. And eventually I started to see that and I was in my early 20s, and I was extremely strong back then. Uh, uh, but I started to see my hair falling, my skin started to turn gray, and I started to
Hmm.
look, I was in my 30s. So it will catch up with you. So, and then you start to feel depressed because why? Because all the hormones that we need that need to be produced and the body needs to make, and they're not being made to for in the proportion that we need. And not just that, we start to increase a lot of cortisol on our blood, on our system, which is extremely damaging to it's the stress hormone. You don't need to be necessarily stressed for it, but if the body gets stressed because of lack of proper nutrition or properly rest, it will catch up with you. It might take a week, 2 months. You might feel like you're Superman, but eventually it will catch up with you, and you pay the price. So to me, to the best, and I think from the moment that we figure all this out and we're giving everything the body needs to be able to operate the way it's supposed to, I think, of course, then you have a mental part, right? That sometimes we like to damage ourselves. But that's at 70% of the work is done right there when you give the body what it needs. Then, of course, you always have to work on a mental part because some of us, uh, we have, it can be from several factors. It can be from childhood, it can be because your parents beat you up or put you down while you're growing up and made you feel like you're worthless. It's unfortunate, but this happened to all of us. It happened to me, but it's something that you have to, at one point, and I say, oh, you're an adult, you have to grow up out of this. It's not that easy because it's something so ingrained into your brain that is an exhausting force to be on guard 24 hours a day trying to remember that, that you have to react or let go or some things because it's something that happened so many years ago. The problem is like your brain was built that way, and you grow up and you learn to respond to a certain way. So but what and that's what I do is works 100% of the time. No, unfortunately, I tend to be very violent on my responses because when I have a problem with someone, my first, I mean physical, my first response is just to break uh, bones or teeth and then ask what the deal was. But that's how, unfortunately, that's how I was brought up. And since you do that since someone's 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years old, it's tough to come out of it. So but with that it comes a huge uh, baggage as far as trying to do detrimental things to yourself, right? And you don't even realize when you do that. We all do that in one way or another for whatever reason. And that's why, going back to it, I think that's why I do well in trading because I just get up and I keep trading. I keep doing it. I'm able to focus and just go even heavier because I don't like to be put down and stay down. Like when someone have foot on my neck. So, but that's something that we have to learn how to see when you're doing something that is detrimental to ourselves, to our life, and to our future, and put that aside. Sometimes just writing down, sometimes finding one type of strategy that doesn't trigger some certain type of response on you. But that comes with being exposed to trading every day and figuring out what makes you to be at peace most of the time. Because in trading nothing is going to be 100% of the time, unfortunately, because it's trading, right? But you need to find something that you can deal with that stress and that pressure without triggering any negative responses. And for outcome in life in general, well, just think about it. One day is going to be over, right? It's like one thing or not, one day is going to be bye-bye. You can be sleeping, never wake up. You can go to grocery store, someone run over your car and you're dead. So it's really not up to you. So outcome in life is like when you start to feel negative or whatever it is, just think that you're gonna have that 1 minute before everything's over that you wish you had done more. You wish you had lived more moments. You wish you would spend less time sitting on a computer and spend time with your family or out traveling or fishing or doing something for the world or working out, because maybe if you worked out, you'd have a few more years into you. So just project into the moment, and then that should give you a good kick in the butt to move now. Um, and then you have the other thing that is just, I'm being honest. Sometimes I just feel like I'm done. I lived everything. I've done everything. I pretty much anything you can imagine. Besides being a porn actor, never been that. But I have pretty much done. I mean, I've been through war. I made incredible amount of money. I lost incredible amount of money. I had the cars, the houses I want, everything. I went to the places I never uh, uh, imagined that I would have gone. I lived really 3, 4 lives. So sometimes I feel like it's time to check out. I'm done. I'm done. But I never do because of my kids, but I won't. because of my kids. But sometimes I don't see much point of going on with life living. And so, but I'm never going to end and never going to stop because first of all, I don't want my kids to think that we have some crazy gene that, propels us to do that, which is not the case. Um, it's just we just saw too much of life. So when you have that or any feelings of being negative or anything like this, just think that you're not doing this for yourself. Just think that you want to see your kids growing. If you don't have kids, just put your life and your love to something to help someone else. That's going to be really rewarding. It's going to be worth your time. Uh, that my wife always tells me that TT, you guys are all my Lokis, my little projects. That every time we got a few private messages yesterday. One was from, I'm not going to say his name, but I don't want to put him in the spot. That he said he's trading full time thanks to True Trader, to all of us here. And he is able to provide to his family. He's a full-time trader. He's not doing his job anymore. That gives me satisfaction to keep going with everything in life. Um, but sometimes, yeah, it's just that thing just, just like, yeah, I wonder if, what's in the other side now, but you can't just go and take a peek. Uh, but that's why I'm not afraid to die. I'm really not. Sometimes I wish one of my friends needed a heart or something because then I could go with, good excuse. But younger friends on the older one, not like goose or anything. So, but you always need to figure out a reason to keep going. And again, if it's not for you, you do for someone else, because from the moment that you think there's no point to be going living forward, maybe you can make your life can make someone else life better, and that gives a huge impulse and motivation for you to keep going. And sometimes you're gonna have you know days where the money is so relative when you get to a certain point, because I know people that are multimillionaires, and they are one of the most miserable people I ever met. I can't stand being around them because it's just very strange, the priorities that they still have in their minds. And then I've met people, and that's why I always tell Sonia I love people in India, because I've been to India, I've been to Nepal, and there's like incredible amount of poverty. But those people are like, my God, I never forget the smiles they have in their face. They have nothing. They live in a low house, low shack with one room, 8, 10 of them. And of course, it's not all over China, India, right? But I mean, it's very common there. And but these people are like they're having the best time of their lives. So don't wait what you have or what you don't have based on your material possessions, because I guarantee you, you can one day say, one day I'm going to have a Lambo, and when I drive that car, I'm going to be the happiest man alive. Yes, you will for the first hour. Then after that is, maybe for a week, 2 weeks. But after that, it just becomes another piece of a material piece that you have. And then you look at your phone and you see that, not my case, thank God, because I love my kids. They know I love them. And we talk all the time. But then you keep looking at your phone. It's been 2, 3, 5 days, a week, a month that your kids didn't contact you. Was it worth to have that piece of crap thing in the garage, but pay that price? Not to have your family close to you? Is not. That will depress you. And that's, it makes most people, because people have those crazy priorities, right? They say, oh, I'm going to get this, that. And then when I get all that, and then I give my time to, it doesn't work that way, because you're trying to compromise something that you don't know if you have. You don't know if you have that time left. It's as far as I know, we're all living in borrowed time. So if you have something, you have to do something for you, for anyone else. You can't wait 5 minutes from now. You can't wait for tomorrow. You really freaking have to do today. Um, but but that's pretty much what I wanted to say about outcomes in life. Is like sometimes we just are so tired on the moment, right? What we see right now, what it's doing right now, we don't realize like. And another thing too is like it blows my mind. And I love you, United States. I love this country. I love American people. I love how open they are, how crazy they are. If you have a problem like in Italy, it, they start to talk loud and start to scream and to curse. But when you go and say, okay, it's time to fight, they freaking run away. Brazil, half a half. US, 99% will come and fight with you. I like that because you have guys have guts. I do like that. That's how I'm built. If you're going to put your mouth there to say something, you better back it up. And the American people, American men, women, I mean, you go for it. I love everything about the ways here. I love the way the economy is open. I know we complain about paying for healthcare and so, but listen, at least you're paying what, 20-30% in taxes. Would you rather pay 50% of your income in taxes and then have universal healthcare? Honestly, I don't. I lived in Italy is like that. UK, I lived in UK, it was like that. It is like that. So I have a really good friend of mine. He has a lot of money, but he needs to go to a doctor, even though he pays for universal health care. He has to. He needs to pay for a private doctor. He doesn't go because otherwise he has to wait hours, if not days, to be seen by a doctor. So, uh, yeah, we complain about this, but you don't know how it is on the other side, right? If you have to pay more from your salary to take, that covered for you. That's one thing. Two, a lot of Americans travel, right? But not as many as 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 in my opinion you guys should. uh, Lots of Americans, a lot of people that I know, Americans here, they like to travel. They go to the beach and they go to the mountains. Go outside of the US, see what's out there, what else is in the rest of the world. I mean, you're gonna fall in love to a lot of places, with a lot of places, with a lot of people in a good sense, uh, and you're gonna give your perspective of how other people live in the other side of the world, because you can see people living in riches here and in poverty here. But I guarantee you, you haven't seen poverty really. And I'm not saying go to the slums anywhere, but you see the difference how people live and how they live with what they have. And plus you see the history of the world. You see things that we never imagined that exist. You go in certain places in Greece, or you go to Italy or Rome, and you see places that were there, had been there for thousands of years. We don't have that in US. It's a relative young country. You're not going to have these things. So it just opens up your vision of what everything else is out there in the world. It's not just a little cocoon where we live. There's so much outside your zip code to be seen and to be enjoyed. It's That's one thing that kind of sometimes upsets me a little bit lately, is because I can't go anywhere really, because it's first COVID and then the Delta thing. Because I travel pretty much every month for at least a week, uh, or worst case every 2 months. Uh, but lately, I haven't, and because of all this, what's going on. But go and leave and see the rest of the world, because there's so many things out there that at worst case scenario, that even if you don't like, it gives you even more appreciation for home, right? But I guarantee you there's a lot of things that is going to bring all to you by being there and seeing it. And you don't have to be a millionaire to travel. I mean, there's several ways of going places and finding last minute tickets, or buying 6 months ahead of time. That you can go to Rome, you can go to Portugal, stay a week and pay $1,000, airline and hotel, all included for $1,000, leaving from the US. So there's really no excuse why, oh, but I need $1,000 because I want to buy a newer car. Well, I tell you one thing, that car is going to get older, and the experience I would have, you didn't. I remember when I was young, like right when I was 17, 18, I was saving money to travel, right? Just to go everywhere. And I'll talk to my friends, and they're like, oh no, I want to buy a motorcycle. Oh no, I want to buy this, I want to buy that. I was like, why? Go live the world, see places out there, and then the motorcycle gonna get old. It's like, well, that's how we meet girls, and we need car motorcycles. Like, then what are you going to tell the girls? You're not interesting anyways. You're just going to be, a taxi driver for them. But anyways, it's just, it makes you, it changed you when you have the love for traveling and you start doing. Um, and that, I think, will help a lot of times when you feel down, when you feel that is something you have looking you to look forward to, um, in life.